Many of you guys remember when Raymond Santana, a member of the exonerated Central Park Five, who was wrongfully convicted in the 1980 assault in Central Park. You guys remember that? He married Deelishis. Okay, now he did, win a lot of money from being exonerated, and he's made this his life story. He's almost became like a millionaire, or did become a millionaire, and he ended up meeting Deelishis, and we all know what Deelishis' story was. Deelishis was one of the first kind of reality shows, or Flavor of Love, super big booty, thick, became like a IG personality and all that. They got married, was living in Atlanta. It didn't work out. All right. And so Raymond Santana has been the one, kind of going around and telling his story about what really happened. And recently he did it this time.
Right. Who I am and what I stand for. It can't survive in this space. So, then for me, I just had to understand that when it was over, it was over. And I think that was the realest thing, like with me and her, that when she came to me and she said, it's hard being your wife. I have to be somebody who I'm not. And I said, well, you got to be who you are.
Well, what did she have to be that she wasn't?
Well, a wife. Like with me, it came
more traditional.
Yeah, I'm more traditional. So it came with, she's not traditional, and a lot of things, I didn't actually make a lot of changes, but it comes to a certain point in your life with maturity that you make those changes on your own. And if I'm still growing and I don't see you growing, and the kids are growing that's with us, right? Then that doesn't look right. You're not a good example. And so, when she comes to me and she's like, look, I can't do it, I completely understand.
So in this situation, he said something that was important. He said that she wasn't traditional and all of that. And that's really important, okay? And I want to hear, because when this happened, Tasha K was, trying to get an interview, and that didn't happen, but he did tell her this.
Raymond Santana, one of the Central Park Five, finally came out and did an interview. Now, he was supposed to do an interview with me, but I guess he didn't want that kind of publicity, because I was going to ask some questions, okay? Now, he put Deelishis out the house that he bought. He finally came out and said it was because she was cheating. And then he called me because I did commentary on it, because I did reach out to Deelishis. I said, why this man put you out? What is going on? Man just don't put nobody out just like that. Or did he realize what we all knew about you? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you lied to him or something. And so she was just like, no, I didn't do anything. But he ended up calling me. We was on the phone for an hour. Raymond told me that Deelishis, and he ain't say no allegedly, this is according to him, Deelishis was going to see that man every day that lived in the same neighborhood. Their kids played with Neffy's kids, and while the kids was outside playing, she was inside sucking.
So let me get into those Deelishis clapbacks, because she basically did comment about what he was saying, and she said this: you would think after 3 years divorced, a person would either speak the truth or say nothing at all, but hey, what do I know? But just to wrap up this sideshow up quick, I did everything he said I did. I was a disgusting, horrible wife, and even worse, a mom. He suffered horribly the entire time. He couldn't take my non-traditional childish behavior any longer. He put his foot down, packed his amazing bags, and left the inn. May God forgive me, and may God give him peace and comfort and a bright new journey. All right. So basically, this is her being facetious and all that. And then obviously, you got some people that's clapping back at Raymond Santana.
Okay, y'all, what's up? So y'all see the byline. Deelishis, I guess, finally clapped back at her ex-husband about divorce, because he was in an interview, I guess, a couple days or a couple weeks ago, was still bringing up the marriage, still, in my opinion, showing how hurt he is. But y'all can read that if y'all want. But this is my point. This is prime example of when a woman knows their worth. When a woman knows their worth, they will let you leave them, pack your shit, and go and not give. They won't care, because they know the value that they bring in the relationship. They deep down inside know they the mother. So you leaving them doesn't diminish them. They're not going to chase you. They're not going to call you. They're not going to do any of that. They're not going to even speak of your name in a negative light. Here, as you can see in the byline, she said, I did everything he said I did. God bless. If that's what you need to move on, sir, because I'm never going to grovel. I'm never going to get on bended knee, because I know who I am. That's basically what this lady is saying. So you are very hurt. You thought you was going to be able to stump your feet, slide down the wall, and get a reaction, and maybe she was going to chase you. Maybe you thought the divorce was going to give her a wake-up call, but maybe it just made her realize she had been wasting too much of her But for you to still be on here 3 years later, still having this same conversation, sir, go find you a therapist. Because this is probably the problem in your marriage that you never cared to acknowledge. You fester on things. I don't know if it's because you was locked up in jail or what, but you fester on things. And there's a thing called move the okay? If you got a girlfriend or somebody that you interested in, you don't need to be worried about your ex-wife and trying to make amends there. Whatever she did, let that shit be. Because when a woman knows they worth and they know what they brought to the table and they know they tried to be everything they needed to be for you, they will move on and they ain't got to say shit. You're never going to get a reaction out of her. So let that shit go.
Look, I don't know what the hell is wrong with her, but all this knowing her worth, I mean, this is what most women say about everything. So, but I just thought it was important to address her because, you know, again, it's about knowing your worth. Even though Deelishis, it's not on anybody's radar. Deelishis has been like all these dudes in the industry. Nobody takes Deelishis seriously at all. But I will say this, okay? And this is the most important thing. And I'm not the biggest fan of Jemele Hill. She said this. You married a reality star, and you're surprised she's not traditional. Okay, buddy. Down. Now, let me just say this. Jemele Hill is right, okay? That he should have known that Deelishis had a certain lifestyle, was, you know, already had kids, you know, was already doing what she was doing, and was in no way going to change, all right? And but see, here is what people don't talk about. A lot of these ladies, when they got somebody that they want to be with, they will start acting as if they're really like, you know, oh, no, what you see, but behind closed doors, I'm different. This is what you see, okay? You know, they be on Instagram acting one way, and then when a man get to know them, he thinking that, you know, okay, well, she's not like how she appears on social media. That's what a guys think. But ultimately, you know, women want to try to, you know, manage both things. And here's what I think happened. I think bruh's money was going low, and you know, it wasn't what she thought it was, and so she dipped. And you know, he's a little hurt. And again, if you ever thought that she was gonna be traditional, all you gotta do is look at their Instagram. You know, some may be traditional only because when they forced to. That means, you know, the well done dried up. And for some ladies, the well has dried up. But Deelishis, hey, she got that BBL popping. It's a little bit of money out there like that. You know, she keep getting BBLs every year. I mean, this is crazy. Okay, this is insane. But he should have known. And most dudes, if you want to get married, nobody that's an Instagram celebrity that got something popping going on in their life at age 40 is going to change for a guy that they feel that they're more important than. I'm going to say it again. Nobody is going to submit to a man that they feel they are more important than. And that's a God's honest truth. And if he doesn't like that, or if he doesn't understand that, then, you know, it's his own ego. But, you know, she felt that she's more popular. And in reality, like I said, she is more popular. She is more popular than he is. And it hurts. It sucks. But bro, you want a submissive lady? Get you a lady who don't want to be on Instagram. Get you a lady that's not in the industry. Get you a lady that likes family. She wants to be a wife. She wants to be a mother. She likes those things, okay? This is what she likes. She adores these things. Now, if you get somebody different than that and try to force them and change them into what either they lied to you and told you it was going to be, or what you thought she was going to be, like cooking and cleaning and being submissive. No, because when you met her, she was clapping it up. You liked it. She was wearing half skimpy stuff. Once you met her, that's what it was. It wasn't nothing different. All right. You got to accept that. Basically, this is what you signed up for. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.